And I'm thinking like, there's no personal space, there's so much noise, there's so much stimulation, and then it's just a constant hamster wheel. You ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Okay, hold on.
George,
Hello, Sam.
I didn't know you were under there. How are you?
I'm so good. It's great to meet you
So great.
and talk to you for the first time today.
Yeah, we never speak. We should speak more.
We should do this all
We
the
should
time.
talk more. Who are you, though?
I'm George.
And what is the context of your being here, George?
I live here at the weekends, Sam.
Well, I wouldn't say that. That would imply you pay rent.
Oh no, I do not pay rent at all. Do you surely have to pay rent
To live here?
somewhere?
Yes, you do.
It would seem reasonable, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
it would.
Why do you live here on the weekends? I ask myself all the time.
I date Sam's housemate, Katie. I've lived here at the weekends for as long as you have. I helped you move in.
You did.
I was doing some serious heavy lifting actually that day. Not as much as your ex-boyfriend, but a significant amount.
I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
I was left in a cafe,
Oh god, the worst place.
feeling really awful about myself.
The worst place to be abandoned on move-in day is in a cafe,
I was like,
eating your breakfast. Could you imagine? Sam, you had it harder than me.
I felt so guilty
Yeah.
eating the breakfast.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Whilst you were all carrying
Yeah.
heavy boxes.
Yeah, I could tell you could have
And
lost...
then by the time I got back, everything was done. And I was like, oh no.
I could tell you'd lost your appetite from the small amount of food you brought back in your box.
I'd like to thank you for helping us move
Yeah,
in.
you're really welcome. Maybe you paying rent in more ways than money. I did some hoovering earlier.
You did.
Oh,
you
I
did.
fixed the hoover regularly.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm the only one I'm pretty sure who empties the hoover as well. That's got to be worth at least a couple £100 a month.
Why?
I don't know, it's pretty dirty. No one wants to do it. I'm adding value.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
throw out KO's dirty food.
That is true.
That is valuable.
She leaves it in the fridge and it is quite unsanitary.
I put the picture in front of the fireplace and you thought that's a great addition.
Yes, it is a great addition.
50 quid.
Why is
Don't mention it. Could you have hired someone to have the creative license to move the picture? No. You could
No,
not.
that is-
You could not have, Sam.
You got me.
I'm wiping my glasses at you.
You got me.
You don't want to see my face
I need
anymore.
those.
What else do I do?
I stack the chairs behind the TV.
Smart storage solutions.
Smart storage solutions. If the counselling thing doesn't go to plan, you could just do smart storage solutions for people.
I yeeted the second hoover behind your clothes.
You did what?
I just like moved it.
Yeeted.
Yeah.
What does yeet mean?
It's like, oh, I'm going to yeet these glasses.
In what language?
English slang.
English slang?
Yeah, slang. Sam's eye for languages has got our brain going.
Slang? I've never heard that in my life.
You know what yeet?
Yeet.
You've met Yak, my best friend from South London, and he has introduced me to some... That's where some words
South
come
London
in from.
lingo.
Yeah.
What other words have you
I'd
learned?
have to think about it. I tell you one, coming from very rural Essex, he told me what a G-check is. Do you know what a G-check?
A G-check.
Yeah.
No.
You'd think it would be something about like a G-Wagon. You know what a G-Wagon is?
No.
No. So a G-check is like if someone comes up to you and goes, oh, what's the time? And then if you actually get out your phone to look at the time, they'll rob your phone.
A
So-
G-check?
Yeah, so what you do is they just say, oh, what's the time? When you just go, oh, fuck off, mate. And that's you being G-checked. British icons. You can't be like international.
Okay.
British icons. Domestic icons.
Amelia de Moldenberg. Does that count?
That's a great shout. I could so see that for you as well.
Ali Plum.
Don't know who that is, but
BBC Radio 1 guy.
okay, fine.
Met him once. Waved at him. I didn't actually know what his name was, but I was like, I love your work. And he was like, thank you. And that was it.
It's a classic Sam interaction. Ah!
Danny DeVito, I love your work.
Ah! And he was like, ah!
Who else is legendary? There must be some... Joe Lycett.
Yeah, great shout.
Oh my god.
Very domestic as well, you can't argue that.
Oh, I would have a
Brummie.
party with those three. Invite them on the couch.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Are you ready?
Natural progression, yes.
Moving swiftly on to the conversation.
Moving swiftly onto the conversation.
Yes. Top 5 things that you would buy in Tesco.
Okay, Would a meal deal count as a one thing, or would that count as three things?
That would count as 3 things because those 3 individual things.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I can cheat the system.
You can't cheat the system.
Is anything on offer?
Most things in Tesco tend to be on offer on a Sunday, so...
Okay. I like how I've asked you 2 questions and you've asked me one. It's now my game show.
Don't take over.
Okay, number 1, I would buy right now an 8-pack of Pepsi Max. Last time I was in Tesco, £3.75. I think that's really great value.
Cha-ching.
Ka-ching. Next up, I would buy garlic paste. I think that's like a real household hack. You have some garlic paste currently?
Household hacks with George.
Oh, I've been really enjoying pears recently. I'd get some pears. Bigger the better.
The more pear-shaped, the better.
Yeah, for sure. And then I would also say Beyond Meat burgers. Get a 2-pack of those. Maybe like $2.50.
Because you're a vegan.
And I'm not vegan, actually.
Oh.
No, never mind.
Okay.
Cut.
Cut.
And then my last thing I would get, you know those Eat Well crisps? Have you got any of those? They're like really crunchy. They're supposed to be like healthy crisps, but like they've just got more crunch. They come in like a sour cream flavour.
I can't visualise them,
They
but
do-
I will go to Tesco's.
They do them in Budgeons as well.
Budgeons.
Very good.
The non-budget friendly supermarket that sounds like a budget friendly
Budgeons,
supermarket.
where you don't go when you're on a budget.
Describe your typical day in London.
We're going to wake up. It's going to start with some coffee. A half an episode to a full episode of whatever we're watching. So right now it's Severance. Then we're going to have some eggs on toast with some avocado, some hummus, and possibly some garlic aioli sauce.
Not the garlic paste.
No, whoa, no.
No. How are you having your eggs?
I only do like fried egg.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about eggs really. I don't really eat eggs.
With your avocado oil most of the time, yeah.
My avocado oil.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this later. Getting up and having breakfast. Is that it?
No. This has taken us so far to probably about 10:30. Okay, then the bulk of the day, we're going to go for coffee again, and then we're going to do some work. We'll be on laptops for a bit. We might get something to eat.
Probably like a little something, nothing too major.
Plan dinner, prepare dinner,
Eat dinner.
You're sharp. But while we're out getting coffee, we're probably going to get some sweets for later or something like that, like some chocolate or some ice cream.
It seems like your day revolves around food.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's mostly based around food, but there is some work in there. We might go for a walk probably around that time when we're buying food.
Okay.
You know, probably some more TV. Then we're going to settle down to play our game, which is here out of shot.
What are you playing?
Ark Nova. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what's up. I'm probably going to maybe do some little reading or something like that, have a tea, go to bed.
Not that far from the home.
We're real homebodies, as you can tell from my attire.
When you keep saying we, I keep thinking of Gollum and Smeagol.
I love how that's how you see us. My weekends I spend with Gollum and Smeagol.
So that's your typical day.
Yeah, that's my typical day, yeah.
What's your typical day in Essex?
Wake up, make coffee, shower, get in the car, drive to work or uni. Then you're either going to be out late, maybe come back early, maybe have a club or like a fitness thing afterwards. Again, maybe you've eaten either side of that. But I think for me, like having like a good dinner or something like that as part of the day is always like a staple. I need like at least one wholesome meal a day to feel sane.
And that's your dinner.
Yeah.
Do you think that
Usually
has something to do with like being at school and people going like tea at 5 after school and then that's the meal you get home to and therefore it's the best meal?
I feel like I love having like eggs on toast at the weekend because you can have a slower day, but you can have it first thing at the weekend, but you can't any other day of the week. Dinner is the first time you get during the day to actually like, oh, okay, what's going on?
Nice.
Otherwise, your head's all over the place, or mine is anyway. But then I slow down, do some reading, a little bit of something in the evening, maybe like prepping the night before. So I've got to have, again, food. My Weetabix ready, got to have my coffee beans in the grinder. I like to wake up and then be kind of out of the house in like half hour. Like my essentially sister-in-law wakes up, reads before work and stuff like that. I've just got no time for that. I'm like up, straight into the day, maximum amount of sleep.
Oh, I'm the opposite. I have a good few hours in the morning of doing things before everybody else wakes up.
Really?
Yes.
Why did you snap
I
your
don't know.
finger?
I'm not sure. I'm
Trying
in
to
a
be
bit of a
sassy.
weird mood.
Why are you feeling weird?
I just feel... What do you think of the NHS?
Wow, Sam, you're a real conversationist. Every topic just flows into the next, like seamlessly.
What do you think of war? No. Would you ever move to London?
Yeah, well, when I finish uni, when I'm going to start as like a counsellor or something of that persuasion, I think the best job opportunities are just like kind of getting started with minimal experience are going to be in London.
What makes you think that?
Having gone on Indeed and looked like locally and just thinking like, here you're going to just kind of take what you can get. Whereas London, there's like, I looked at one, it was like, oh, we've got like a startup thing going on in Shoreditch and there's different types of therapists doing slightly different things. Then obviously it's like the training on top of that. One of them was like doing treatment with ketamine. Obviously not me administering ketamine.
Oh.
And not them administering it like the patients themselves. But you know.
Like microdosing it or something?
I think it was like,
That's
it'd
cool.
be like a clinician administering the ketamine. And then I would probably be doing supplementary counselling. But like there's just lots of cool bits going on. Whereas out in Essex, it's probably going to be like same.
Same.
Yeah.
What made you want to get into counselling?
I didn't want to work in front of a computer. And I get really bored really easily. Like I'm quite impulsive. And I find conversations one of the only ways I can actually stay on task. I feel like it kind of chose me, to be honest with you.
What does that mean?
I can't do many other things.
Would you say that you're a learner by listening to people talk? I think I would struggle to be a counsellor because more often than not, someone will be talking and my mind will go somewhere else.
Oh, right.
So do you reckon that you have the capacity to...
No, I can learn anything in any form, but I have to be interested in it. Like, if I'm not into something, I just think, oh, like, you can push this for a little bit, but eventually you're just not going to do it. So you might as well just crack on with something you'll actually care about.
Do you think you could have dated someone in a finance desky job? Or do you think you're more compatible with someone who is also in the caring for people realm?
No, I think you could date anyone. There's so many variables, aren't there? But like, I don't think that everyone in finance is just like a heartless monster. I'm sure there are very, very, very caring, ambitious, pleasant individuals doing banking and whatever else.
Yes.
But you're right, though. I'm sure that jobs in nursing and therapists and stuff like that, they probably have a tendency for those individuals to be more, maybe be greater listeners or be more empathetic or something like that.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
You'd think so, yeah.
What do you think of the NHS?
I really feel for Girlfriend when she says about her wasted time and stuff like that. Like, oh, okay, I've seen X amount of people today, or that just kind of came in for reasons that was just they shouldn't have been there for, or when
Like a bee stung me.
Oh, I've told multiple people now that she said that people come in and go, oh, I haven't actually got anything wrong. I just thought I'd come in, and and then she goes, oh, so any symptoms at all? Any? And they're like, no, none.
But how do you get into the doctor, sir? Because you have to give an excuse, like my foot hurts, or I've got something to be able to be seen. How does that even work?
It makes sense why the GPs, receptionist, and the bookers are so annoyed all the time. They're probably dealing with these people. They are universally annoyed around the country. You call them and they are fuming with you.
This one where I am now is actually okay, but I've had in Brixton,
Yeah.
in Finchley Central, they have been Trunchbull-esque receptionists who you don't want to talk to them because they seem like they're going to snap your head off.
And obviously, I'm sure before they started that job, they were probably really pleasant people, but then it just grinds them down.
So you reckon that London's going to be your next step for future finance endeavours?
I think
Career endeavours, not
London
finance
will be
endeavours.
really good for work, but it will ultimately depend on what Katie's doing. I do think, though, I don't like London. Like, I don't like it.
Explain.
For example, so I went to, very close to like Leicester Square, I think,
Soho?
to that Chinese place, and it's like hot pot something. It begins with a H. Been to one of those, and there's like a big vat, and then you're like putting all your food in it. Been to one of those? I'm sure you have.
I've been around there.
We were going there. It's very central, Friday night, and I come in, and there's just people everywhere. They're freaking everywhere. And I'm thinking like, there's no personal space. There's so much noise. There's so much stimulation, and then you're opening doors. You're having to constantly wait for people. I don't like it at all. And then we went to Camden today. We went and got some food, and again, you're going down the escalator, and then you're thinking like, okay, well, there's someone like 2 footsteps in front of the escalator who's decided to stop moving. It's just a constant hamster wheel, and I don't like it. I do like seeing my friends. I do like the convenience of being able to go and get like, let's go for food, and it doesn't take that long, or we can go for a nice walk. But I think now, especially having got a girlfriend, having got your path with your work and stuff like that, I know what I need, and I can get essentially everything I need in most places. I don't need to be in London.
You also don't need to go to Leicester Square.
No, I know. Yeah, I shouldn't have.
Or
Leicester
Camden.
Square.
It's like saying that you don't like someone when they're their worst self, which is kind of like,
Which is kind of
true.
Leicester Square on a Friday.
I get it, because like sometimes if I'm in a hurry in Leicester Square or Camden or those areas, like at lunchtime, trying to get through crowds of people when you don't have a lot of time is kind of fucking annoying. But yeah, I actually do like a crowd. I like to be among people and feeling the buzz of people.
And I totally see the contrast for like you and I, because you like to go out, you love going out for food, you love going to different places, you love going seeing your friends in different areas, whereas I've probably got far less friends that I want to see, I've got far less things I want to do, and it makes more sense for you to be in a big city.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah.
I've always been a city person.
Yeah.
Because, my grandparents lived in the countryside and it was just too quiet. I'm not about that life. And nothing there. You can't get anything. You can't just walk to the nearest Cafe Nero down the road.
Yeah, that's the thing. You do need to be with somewhere where it's like you've got a good coffee shop that maybe does, if maybe every now and then you want to get a little cake or you want to get some breakfast or something like that. But you only need one of those. On this high street alone are...
Lots.
I'm thinking of immediately 5 come to mind.
Yeah.
I only need one. I only have like 1 or 2 coffees a day.
I do like the options. I think Brixton High Street was very good because it had an M&S. It had an H&M as well. When I wanted to do a sort of last minute shop for a holiday or whatever. Well, they had Morley's, which is like a whole department store.
Okay.
If I wanted to get bed stuff for some reason, I would.
For some reason. Yeah,
Really?
and you don't have internet for some reason, then yeah, I guess you can pop out and do that.
Yeah. On top of all of like the... not just chain coffee shops, but also the coffee shops that were either exclusive to South London or exclusive to Brixton, or there was only one.
Yeah, you need a boutique coffee place for sure.
A boutique.
Yeah, like you need...
Says Cafe Nero aficionado there.
We do go to Cafe Nero a lot. The setting of Cafe Nero is so good.
It's the most inviting on this high street.
They smash it. I think anywhere. Their vibe is so good and it's so set up for people who want to sit and do work.
Oh,
and that's
I see.
that's what all boutiques miss. But boutiques don't want people like me who go in, buy one flat white and sit there for 4 hours.
Yeah, that's probably why Cafe Nero is like, you can sit here all day, use the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And you're more likely to buy stuff if you sit there all day though. But I don't think an independent will want to take that risk.
Yeah, like how many chairs are they going to have available? They're going to cap themselves to like earnings of £100 for the day. They're going to be going out of business pretty quick. You're not into coffee though, really.
I could live on a...
Sam will go out for anything.
I
Just
could
invite me.
Yeah,
I'm a
just
lonely
be anywhere.
hero.
I don't really care what it is, just as long as it's outside.
Yeah, fine.
No, I'm really not fussy with coffee. Like, if it's coffee, it's coffee.
Yeah. Whereas that's like one of the main parts of our day is, right, where we're getting our coffee from.
Right, yes. Yeah. Well, there we go. So what do you think the moral of the story is?
Live somewhere that suits you and do things that you like.
Do more of what you love.
Yeah. And make sure you know your top 5 things in Tesco off the top of your mind at all times so you don't look silly when someone asks you.
I reckon.
And have a strong opinion on war
Yeah, you can answer that
that
question.
you can summarise in 30 seconds.
This has been fun.
Yeah,
and I particularly like the outfit.
Oh, yeah, this is Katie's dressing gown. It's delicious. You can get these in John Lewis.
John Lewis, you say?
Yeah. I'm not sponsored, guys, just in case you thought I was sponsored. I'm not. I may look it, but they're lovely. They're unisex as well, which is amazing.
John Lewis, the place to be. And
But
I thought they were all going out of business.
They're unisex as long as you're really comfortable with your sexuality, I guess.
Which you look like you are. Yeah.
It looks that way.
Gross.
Okay.